Barkeep, pass me another one, will ya? No? Screw you. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy VI. Last time, we arrived here in South Figaro and drained it completely dry of all of its items and valuables. And we're going to make away like bandits as we walk towards the Returner's camp. But before we do that, I have one place to go. I mentioned in a previous episode that I wanted to go to this cabin right here. Duncan's cabin. But I had second thoughts. But now I actually do want to go ahead and explore it. So, let's go ahead and do that. What's that smell? I don't smell anything. Maybe it's the flowers? These flowers. He always liked these. Maybe it's the bed? No? Not the bed, I guess. These dishes. They're just like the ones he always used. Okay. Maybe it's like some tea? This tea. It was his favorite. Edgar, you okay there, buddy? Hey, a potion. What about this bed? Nope. Just rest for a bit? Alright. Interesting. Could Sabin be living here? Oh, hello. Hey. Do you happen to know where I can find the man who lives here? Sure do. Left a couple days ago, as soon as he heard Master Duncan had been killed. Headed up into the mountains. They say Duncan's son Vargas is missing too. I don't like it one bit. Well, that's not good. If Sabin really did live here, then he might be in danger. Let's follow that old man. Okay, so Mount Kolts should realistically just be right here. To the northeast of South Figaro. Mount Kolts. We have to go this way to get to the Returner's hideout anyway, so might as well kill two birds with one stone. Mount Kolts is a, sort of the first major dungeon outside of the, Figaro Caves. Let's use the Noise Blaster here on these, Gorgiases here. It's a very cool animation. It confuses every enemy on the field, or at least has a chance to, meaning that they can fight each other. It can lead to some very interesting shenanigans where they might where the enemies might kill themselves. But sometimes might not, who knows. It's kind of a, it's kind of an iffy thing. There we go. Terra gained a level up, level 7. Got more MP, which is always nice. There we go. Edgar's damage was actually doing pretty well there. Oh, hello. There was someone climbing the mountain, it looked like. There's a treasure chest right there that we can't get to. That's unfortunate. Serpiuses and Gorgias. Let's just try to take these guys out as soon as possible. I might actually put Locke into the back row while we explore the dungeon, because it might be safer for him there. But we should be able to take out most of these enemies without much issue. We can probably speed this up now. Because I have the Hyper Wrist on Edgar, using Bioblaster might not be the best choice here, as his strength stat has been increased tremendously. So I'll probably just be spamming Auto Crossbow for the time being. I think before I go up north, let's go ahead and try and move around the mountain here. And head south to this exit. More Gorgiases, okay. There's a few enemies here in Mount Kolts that we'll need to worry about. There's about 4 enemies here. We've found 2 of them so far. Let's try to see if we can get more of them. There we go. Edgar leveled up, level 9, which is quite high, actually. It's much higher than Terra. Main Gosh. Alright, that is a weapon for Locke. Let's go ahead and equip that. The Main Gosh, look at that damage increase. Attack plus 59, evasion plus 10, agility plus 4. Yes, please. That'll be very helpful in making his damage much better. The Main Gosh is actually a weapon that will serve Locke for quite a while. So, Zagrem. Zagrem? Yeah, his damage is like plus 20 right there. There we go. They don't really give much EXP. I guess something I want to reiterate is that the EXP that you obtain in battle... Hello? EXP that you gain in battle is actually based on the enemy formation and how many, like, what the types of enemies and the enemy formation in which you encounter them. Not the amount of enemies that you fight. So, instead of looking for, like, specific enemies to fight because they give the most EXP, you actually kind of want to look for specific enemy groupings, as they will give you more EXP than just individual enemies. It's a little weird, but that's kind of how it works in this game. But it'll be important to note later on, whenever obtaining EXP and whatnot becomes a little bit more important. There's a tent right there, so if we need that, we can use it. I don't really see a reason to, but it's really nice. One thing I do want to mention is that when it comes to tents, every character has their own unique tent animation. They all pitch their own tent, which is quite charming if I do say so myself. So I'll be trying to make it a personal rule of mine, personal goal, to showcase every single tent. But I don't think I'm going to need that, as restoring HP and MP for everyone doesn't really matter all that much if I can just heal everyone with Terra and then just give her a sleeping bag. There were 2 gold needles right there. This is a dead end on this area right there. So let's walk around. We're finding a lot of Gorguses on this mountain here. You would think that this would be like a weird place for a mammoth-like creature to live, you know? It's a mountain, it's got steep hills, inclines. I don't think this really is like their ideal living area, but you know what? Nature is fickle and weird sometimes, you know? Whoa, we got Mr. Acrobatic over there. I guess we're just kind of following in whoever that is, his footsteps right now. Serpius and Gorgus, we're just going at our own pace, you know? We're not parkouring and jumping around. Terra's almost out of MP, but again, I can always just use a sleeping bag. I think I have an ether or something in my inventory if I really need to. I kind of just have her auto-battle magic attacks during dungeons. But trust me when I say that in my first dozen playthroughs of this game, man, was I scared to use her MP. I was scared to use, like, I'm scared to use items or magic in general in most games, because I'm like, oh, well, what if I need it later down the road? What if there's a surprise boss fight or something? You know, it's like, what if there's a pop quiz in the middle of a class or something? And I'm not prepared for it. But I've eventually just kind of given up on that ideology and kind of go gung-ho now. There's a save point. I think I'll go ahead and use that sleeping bag here. Actually, before I do this, I'm gonna save and see if I can't find the remaining enemy found here in Mount Kolts. One other thing I want to point out is that there is another area within this first segment where there's 3 exits. This is pretty early into the dungeon, and I wanted to show it off before we move on. It has the Gigas Club. It's a very important relic. Hey, I found them, the Trillium. We're just gonna go ahead and auto-battle it. There's Poison Touch and a critical hit from Locke right there. This is honestly our first major instance of an enemy having access to poison. It's not the first time, but it's something that I want to make mention now that we actually know what the poison status ailment is. But I definitely need to heal that off. So we're going to use Terra's MP to cast Poisona. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use a sleeping bag and give it to Terra. And just have her... Actually, I'll just use my potions, because I got a lot of money. I'll just use potions to heal everyone up. There we go. Problem solved. But that's every enemy here in Mount Kolts, so I can just turn off encounters. I feel pretty good about this. And we make our way down. This area is just kind of a spiral. There's not really much to talk about. So let's just make our way down. Hello. You don't look like Sabin, but it seems like we've been following you across the mountain. Let's see if you are a good Samaritan. Sabin sent you, didn't he? Who are you? Sabin, is he here? You were the one sneaking around us the whole way up here, weren't you? And if I was... Well, it doesn't matter who you are. I have no intention to surrender. Woe is the day you met me. It'll be the last day of your lives. Alright, boss battle time against two Ipus and Vargas, who we cannot attack right now. We have to deal with his two goons first. Thankfully, they're very susceptible to fire magic, so Terra is going to be a lifesaver here. We can also use auto crossbow to deal with them fairly quickly. The main Gosh is also going to come in handy. Vargas is a master of, well, a supposed master of martial arts, so he can use abilities like that Gale Cut to deal decent damage to the whole party. It does wind damage. Unfortunately, we have no way to mitigate wind damage, so it just does quite a bit of damage. This last Ipu is taking his time. There we go. Let's go ahead and use Locke's turn to heal up Terra here, well, so that she can go on the offense without much issue. And let's go ahead and just start attacking Vargas. He's a fairly decently strong opponent, so we need to make sure our HP is fairly decent. Come on, what's the matter? Alright, we're blocking his attacks, thankfully, quite often, which is really nice. We're just gonna have Terra and Edgar do most of the damage here, while Locke either just does some chip damage or plays support. Enough of this! I'll send you all to the great beyond! That's enough, Vargas! Ah, if it isn't Sabin! Why, Vargas? Why did you kill Master Duncan? How could you murder your own father? The fool snubbed me, his only son. He chose you as his successor. That's not true. Our master, it's true and you know it. It's written in that ugly sneer across your face. He wanted you to be his successor. Not me. He knew you had the most potential. I'm sick of listening to your lies. I've got far more than just potential. Why don't you see for yourself? Blizzard Fist! Ah, Sabin. My father was right to see so much in you. I guess there's no avoiding this. Fate made us train together, and now Fate will send you to your doom. We're now playing as Sabin. He uses Doom Fists. Now, get ready to join your beloved master. It puts us on a timer. We have 66 seconds to finish this fight. Sabin is a master of martial arts, having access to multiple different blitzes, like Meteor Strike. Picks him up and slams him down. Why hold back, Sabin? Your time is almost up. Alright, next is Aura Cannon, which allows Sabin to channel his inner Dragon Ball Z and shoot a giant laser. Time to put an end to this. I need to use the Blitz technique, like the master taught me. Select Raging Fist from the Blitz menu, and then press left, and then confirm button. How to use Blitz. I've just been showing that off. Nothing will happen if you make a mistake, which is very important to note. Select Raging Fist from the Blitz menu, then press left, and then the confirm button. Pressing unique inputs is how you activate blitzes with Sabin, meaning that you need to be very careful about how you push these buttons. Raging Fist. You already learned that technique? Vargas, if only you hadn't been so consumed by pride. Sabin! Edgar, my brother! Brother? Here's twin brother? His brother. At first, I thought you were another one of Vargas's bears. You thought I was a bear? I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, Edgar, what are you doing here? We're on our way to the Saber Mountains. To the Returner's Hideout, no doubt. So, the wheels are finally turning. I've been watching from a distance, hoping the world would come to its senses. The way things were going, I was afraid Figaro would end up as a puppet state. A means of striking back has presented itself. There will be no more playing lapdog to the Empire. I'm through with that act. Think a bear like me could be of any help? Sabin, you join us. I think Duncan would rest easier knowing his training helped bring peace to the world. Well then, let's get going. And thus we have Sabin in our party. He's quite the interesting character, and he's another one that I'm probably going to be immediately slotting into the back row, as a lot of his blitzes work from the back row, at least the good ones. Let's go and grab a tent here. If we really need that, we can go back to that safe point and heal up, or we can just walk out here. And we're into a clearing from Mount Kolts, and we have crossed to the other side of the mountain. We're out on the world map now. Ooh, what an episode, eh? But I think this is a decent stopping point for today. We've seen quite a bit. We got through Mount Kolts, we have a new party member, and we got through a pretty decently challenging boss fight that had some very interesting gimmicks. Next time on Final Fantasy VI, we'll make our way to the Returner's Hideout and see what goes on there. So with that said, I'll see you soon.